thank you so much for joining us. I'm super stoked to talk to you today.
Thank you for having me. I'm just as excited to be here.
So let's start at the beginning because I feel like the journey into the nonprofit world is always kind of a unique one. And we kind of talked about it a little bit already, but like you started out in, 9/11 operations and in accounting. So how did you go from 9/11 operator and accounting to being a dog trainer that's helping, provide service dogs to military folks? So I mean, the first question I've got is if you were, like a newer entrepreneur, you're just kind of putting your team together. Maybe it's like just your staff, or maybe it's like a sales team.
Yeah.
How have you found success in inspiring those folks and keeping them motivated? Especially because I mean, we know that sales can be a hard game with like some crazy great highs and some really hard lows sometimes.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a bad fit job? And I don't mean just a job where, there's some things you don't like, but the money's okay, blah, 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 blah. But I mean like truly a bad fit job, a job where you get into it and you're just like, oh my gosh, I have made a mistake. This is awful. What am I doing? A really bad fit job. If you've been following along with me at all, so you know for a fact that I have experienced a couple of bad fit jobs in my life, but it's been okay because that's really given me the lessons to get here where I'm speaking with you today. So tell me about the other side of it, because you got this incredible product, great jerky, right? But you're doing all this other stuff with, STEM and women's education and stuff. So, I mean, what's kind of the driving factor behind that? I mean, why? I mean, a lot of businesses don't do that. So why are you guys?
Yeah. The reason I became tequila is really kind of what you said in the intro. I've been a tequila drinker for years and then learned that everything I was drinking contained undisclosed additives. I did
Yep.
not know that brands were putting, sweeteners and glycerin and coloring. I thought drinking something kind of like better for me as far as an adult beverage goes.
And then imagine you're a young, new author, get your first book published, and then it blows up the way that Harry Potter does. So I remember, oh my gosh, I want to say that, I mean, the first book came out in the mid 90s. We will delay things and not actually get things out in a timely manner, even though they were good enough at 80%. The next thing is kind of a big one, and that is practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. So I often think about it as giving people grace, where it's like, oh, that person, maybe that person, treated me badly or said that thing or flipped me the bird in traffic because like they're having a crappy day. I can usually, or I like to think usually I can give people that kind of grace, but very rarely do I give it to myself. So find ways to practice self-compassion, be kind to yourself.
Because when you go too big and you just can't keep up, even if you have the backing, the funding, which we would love to have. So any angel investors out there, any CFOs who have the idea of how to get that streamlined, hit me up.
So
Great.
what, because you say you feel like you've kind of, found your niche with Melomatic, right? So like what makes it special for you?
Aside from the obvious of being in a dynamic industry as entertainment and music, I think I really found my niche in just like crafting stories, selling a story.
I learned that being loyal to brianlsesser.com was more important and as a first priority than being loyal to xyzcompany.com as a first priority. And once I learned that lesson, I actually unlocked a lot of what I would call executive presence and understanding of like my own self-worth, and imposter syndrome went out the door.